Robert Williamson set to bring into coverage. Baton Rouge in town. And the opening tip controlled by the Coyotes. It is dropped in by Taylor Murph. And on the board immediately are the Coyotes. Taylor Murph, Tajay Young, Tiffany Goodman, Tamira Smalls, and Tashana Key. Part of the lineup starting-wise for the Coyotes. Meanwhile, the Bears of Baton Rouge have got Frandrika Keller, Janeria Kelly, Carlicia Moore, Chelsea LeBlanc, and Akaya Carnes on the floor to begin this one. It is over to Goodman. Goodman puts it on the floor. Baseline move. Trying to get it out front to Murph. It is taken away by Keller. Given underneath. Banked off the window. A little bit strong with a bank by Carnes. And there is a whistle. There is a foul. And the Bear going to the stripe, and the Coyote the responsible party. That is Murph picking up the personal. It will be her first. And with the first drop in from Janeria Kelly. Half of the lead chipped away. 1 of 2. Rebound belonging to Key. Murph to the other end of the floor. Got the side of the backboard. Kelly with the board. Thinking about the long two and then deciding, hey, a shorter two would be better. LeBlanc with a miss. Goodman's got it going the other way. Wide open down low. Banked off the window for 2 by Tamira Smalls. Smalls, the number 3 scorer in the conference. She is the number 1 rebounder. Head to Carnes. Carnes with a drive. She will get fouled and have an opportunity at the stripe. First of a couple of games this afternoon. The men play next, a roughly 4 o'clock start. Of course, it's listed at 4 on the schedule. It's 20 minutes after this one wraps. Four-1 early Coyote lead. Carnes, 32 points on the year in 3 contests, so averaging double digits. Yeah, my math skills are limited, but I can figure that one out. Over at the stripe, tipped out of bounds by Smalls. So the basketball will stay in Bear hands. Or I guess more appropriately, Bear claws. Given over to LeBlanc, feeds down low off the glass. Kelly. Over to Smalls, turnaround Jay, just a little bit short. It is wrapped up by LeBlanc. Feeds down low. That one will drop in for Carnes and knot the game up at 4 apiece. I think. Having some scoreboard issues. The clock. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Clock and scoreboard and stop briefly. And a miss from Young, trying to get the putback. Where the Coyotes off the glass and rim, no good for Carnes. Shantae Sanders coming into the game for the Coyotes. Well, we've wrapped up baseball coverage. Haven't quite yet put it into football. Still covering one team, Bayside Academy, that's into their 3rd round of play next Friday. And Georgia Military College still playing, but ESPN Plus gets everything from here on out based on the success they've had. Young with a miss, Goodman with a rebound. And there is a foul. That'll be the first on the Bears. It'll be Keller, the guilty party. Non-shooting foul and be brought in from the baseline. Well, apparently the gymnasium floor at Monroeville got wet during the summer due to an air conditioning leak. And obviously they're not playing ball nearly as often on the floor in the summer, so it went undetected for a bit. Sanders dropping in the 2. And that created a little buckle that has reared its ugly head. It will be 10-2 this week. And the Coyotes hope to get back to their north home before, I think, Thursday, their next home game. Keller asking for a screen. Carnes comes out. Handed over to Mackenzie DeVille, who has checked into the game. And you got a shot clock violation, Coyotes with possession. Coyotes 1-4 on the year. Their lone victory came over a Louisiana team. Delgado, 65-63 in their last outing. This is a better team, though, than that 1-4 mark might indicate. And they're going to be all right come conference play. The defending conference champs in D2. Kiara Gross in, had a top of the key, gives over to DeVille. And there is a walk. It'll be Coyote basketball in a 2-point game, not quite halfway through the opening stanza. And the dead ball inside 5 will be our first media timeout, if we are indeed observing media timeouts today. Out of bounds, off small. Baton Rouge basketball. Low scoring first 5 minutes of the game. Between the 2-10. Coyotes coming in averaging almost 60 a game. Kelly sending it over to DeVille, who thought about the 3. Instead takes the long 2 and ties it up at 6. Ball left behind, got an injured Coyote on the floor, other end. There is the lay-in and the first bare lead of the game. Goodman topside with it. And a foul will be called on, I think that was Gross picking up the foul. And yep, we are observing media timeouts. Here's your first win of the 4:21 mark in an 8-6 ball game. Bears over the Coyotes.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone, because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, Coyotes. That's the Pack. That's Coastal Alabama.
Intrigued by the game. Got fans of all ages here in Jack Robertson Arena. Eight-6 advantage. Bears with a lead, 2-1 on the year. Wins over Mississippi teams, Hines and Holmes. And a loss to a Mississippi team, Northwest Mississippi. And at this point in the year, the men and women of Baton Rouge with identical 2-1 marks. Of course, it's not the same wins or same losses to the same teams. Got a foul on the other end of the floor. That is Gabriel Lathers checking into the game. Drawing the foul, going to the line. Lathers has played in 2 games and scored 4 points. If I'm not mistaken, a Region 23 team. Same region of Mississippi. Don't have that many Louisiana schools playing basketball. We've got Baton Rouge and Delgado in the NJCAA. I don't think LSUE plays basketball. They definitely play baseball and softball and have very successful teams. Out of the corner comes Janeria Lennox, who is checked in. And that is Goodman trying to toss it back onto the floor, but stepped out of bounds with it. I was talking about Bayside Academy. By the way, congratulations. Won last night in Montgomery over Alabama Christian. Couple of efforts. The second one good for Gabrielle Hall. And then it's got them playing in round 3, I believe, at Selma. And there is a walk underneath by Sanders. Tashana Key coming back into the game. And heading to the sidelines is Smalls. Kinsley James, the freshman, into the game for the Bears, handles the throw-in. Topside with it, Davis. That is Zorion Davis. Out it goes to LeBlanc, shoots the 3 off the rim. Goodman with the rebound. Rips it away from a would-be steal of Stewart. 4-point Baton Rouge lead, 2.5 to play in the third. That will ricochet off LeBlanc and into the hands of Key, and Key will drop it in for 2. Hey, don't forget, if you already have, then forget, but if you haven't, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Trying to get to 5,400 now. It's the new goal. You might have watched the game earlier and said, weren't you trying to get to 52? And then you got it, and then you said, okay, let's shoot for 53. Yeah, that's the way we do this goal thing. Set a new one. And aiming for 5,400 subscribers. Young for 3, off the mark. Rebounded by Moore. And thrown away on the trip down, trying to get it to the other side of the floor to Davis. Put in play to Goodman. And then to Lennox. Back over to Goodman. Drives through the baseline. Back over to Young. Leans in. And there was a foul. It is of the defensive variety. Keller picking up the personal. And that has got Young shooting. Young, a good free throw shooter, 71%. Number 4 scorer in the ACCC. Averaging just over 10. Stewart got up, shot got blocked. Shot is good though on the deflection. Davis. Halftime, a edited version of the JUCO Rush. Talking about junior college football this weekend. Has got the bucket from Key and the possibility of another. This show's about 31 minutes long and halftime is 15. So yeah, I did some serious butchering to be able to get it ready for halftime. That is splashed in long range from James. Fed down low to Key. And she will attract the foul. .37 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Next basketball coverage, the men of Baton Rouge and Coastal North after this one wraps. And then next week, we'll be at South and North. That is stolen away out front by Moore. Fed back over to Moore, puts up the long 2, and it drops in over the effort by Lennox. Looked like Lennox had gotten there to defend. Bears grow the lead to 6. And there was a foul on the Lennox drive. Charged James. Non-shooting, it'll be brought in from the baseline. Well, now they've changed and say it is a shooting foul, and I think that is because our scoreboard is not quite accurate. It says 3 Team Coyote fouls and 1 Bear foul. So the officials were looking up at the scoreboard and going, okay, no bonus, but yeah, there is some bonus. Lennox, a 50-50 free throw shooter, perfect that trip. Clock and quarter winding down, fed down low, off the glass and rim. Gross gets 2. And we have played 1 after 1. It's a 19-13 Baton Rouge lead.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
some of the Coastal North men. Hey, there's some music you can't help but dance to. I understand. I just don't have the moves, don't have the dance steps. It would be quite comical and unintentionally so if I gave it a shot. So I'll just sit here in the crow's nest. Run a little camera, run a little mouth. Okay, run a big mouth. And we'll head into the second stanza of this one in a 1913 game. Bears with the lead. Tons of time to go in this one, though. We are just entering the second stanza. Lean into from DeVille. Goodman taking it down the floor over to Smalls, back into the game. Lennox going to Key. Back out front, Lennox with it. Shot clock halfway through. Goodman pulls up near the elbow, hands over to Smalls. Smalls leans in, has the two. Well, at the moment, our basketball coverage has got us coming to Monroeville, to Bay Minette, and to Americus, Georgia. We'll begin coverage of South Georgia Tech the day after Thanksgiving. And it's got us going to the University of Montevallo, University of Alabama Huntsville for the ACCC conference tournaments. And in Georgia, the conference semis and championship is the highest remaining seed, so we won't know until the week of where we head in Georgia. Got a trio of Bears coming in. And got a new face on the floor for the Coyotes. That is Kylie Crusoe. So Crusoe into the game. Murph coming to the scorer's table, getting ready to check in. Crusoe with a baseline drive. And that's out off a Bear. So Coyote basketball in a 4-point game, an opportunity to make it a one-possession contest as Murph comes in and Young goes out. That win over Delgado, 65-63. Thrown away on the inbounds, Keller the steal. And there was a foul as knocked to the floor as Carnes. Of the sportsmanship, though, Crusoe giving her a hand up. And Carnes, the sophomore, going to the stripe. North nearly came away with a win on this very floor. As a matter of fact, it was 1 week ago, playing Coastal South in a game that went to overtime. And South came away the winner in that one. One of two will go Carnes. Smalls coming out of the game. And it is Key who will get back in. That is off the fingertips of Lennox. Stolen away by Keller and then tipped out of bounds and a foul as well. And that is going to be charged to Lennox. Lennox trying to atone for losing a grip on the inbounds. And then commits the personal. And now the official giving some instructions to the sideline. Let's see what the instruction is. And it's a drop of the fouls on the scoreboard here from 2-1 for the visitors out of Baton Rouge. Counter over to DeVille. Crusoe defending. Out to set the screen is Carnes. And then Carnes shot rejected and retrieved by Goodman. And that'll go off Goodman out of bounds. Goodman pleading that it got a Bear. But the official says no, it is Bears ball, then it got a Coyote. I guess the trip may be a little shorter for Baton Rouge coming to Bay Minette versus Monroeville. Maybe about 30 minutes shorter. That's a little short. And there is a player down. And here's the good news, the player is up. Bears to put it in play from the baseline. Lobbed out front to Carnes. And there's an offensive foul, and it's going to be charged to Carnes. So the Coyotes with the basketball, still a two-possession game, 5-point lead. Put in play to Murph. Loses the dribble on the trip down, able to get it back, then throws it away, and then it is taken right back by the Coyotes. Boy, our stat keeper's got to put a lot of marks in as Keys will bank it off the glass and turn it into a one-possession game. Into the game is Yannick Jackson. Down front to Gross. Gross with a drive, lost into the paint, feeds over to Kelly, and Kelly will get fouled. Foul is called on Goodman. And it is a two-shot foul for Kelly. Couple of free throws turns it into a 24-19 6-point lead. Crusoe lead pass to Murph, able to catch up with it near the baseline. Out front to Key. And then back into the hands of Murph. There was a drive and Goodman winds up on the floor. That'll be charged to Kroos. Non-shooting foul brought in from the baseline by the Coyotes. Ariel Gilchrist checking into the game. Crusoe's got it right side. Goodman into the paint. And she will draw the foul on the one-hander. So Goodman, who played a key role in that conference championship a year ago back, averaging 9 points a game. A 52% free throw shooter. Just got a feeling that 9 points a game is going to grow over the course of the season. She is a double-digit scorer. Makes things happen on the floor for the Coyotes. Goes 1 of 2. And then it's dribbled out of bounds by Jackson. Coyotes get the ball back. And it's Gilchrist. Shot rejected, rebound belonging to Kelly. From three-point range, there's a tray from Jackson. Stolen away on the other end of the floor, back to the Bear end. Keller around the screen set by Lathers, and there's 2 more in the lead, climbs to 9. And it was nearly taken away on the inbounds pass, but out of bounds when she touched it was Jackson. So Coyotes keep it. Gilchrist puts it in play to Young, back into the game. Over to Goodman. Gives it a look, goes into the paint. Jump ball, and the possession arrow will keep it on this end of the floor. Young to put it in play from the baseline. I thought the lead had been built to 9, but it is 7. Here comes Diana Grace Nelson to the scorer's table, getting ready to check into the game for the Coyotes. Over to Crusoe. Crusoe picking up the dribble just outside of the paint, getting rid of it to Gilchrist. Over to Young. Young had to force up the 3, and it's short. So Nelson coming into the game, averaging a half point per contest. It has been in all 4 previous games. Crusoe going to the sidelines. A 7-point Bear lead, sitting squarely on the 5-minute mark. And I think a media timeout is inside 5, not sitting on 5. So there's a travel, and I think we will take the media timeout now, and the officials say why not. 4:51 to play, half number 1. Coyotes down by 7. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Krabs got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Couple of hooded Bears on the top row of seats here in the Jack Robertson Arena. Newly renovated. As a matter of fact, most of last year, basketball played elsewhere. Volleyball did not play a game here last year as renovations were ongoing. And basketball played about 2 games at the end of the season. I think they're enjoying their new place, their new digs. Handed over to Key. Into the corner, Young, down low. I think it was intended for Nelson, but actually was closer to Gilchrist. 29-20, 9-point lead. And wasn't that 2 points added during the timeout? We didn't have a trip to the other end of the floor, did we? Did I miss something? I think I'm old. I might miss something. So apparently it was a 9-point lead. I just wanted to point that out because it is so rare that I may have had something right. And I know there's an asterisk by that. A may have had something right instead of a I did have. But a 9-point ball game. Davis with a handoff to Kelly. Little weave action given to Keller. And we've got a whistle. Apparently a Coyote guilty. Lennox checking into the game. Gilchrist picking up the foul. Keller getting her second start of the year. 18 points in 3 prior appearances, 6 per game. A 55% free throw shooter. And right at 50%. 1 for 2. I guess that's square dead on 50%. Kind of lean in by Lennox. The offensive is called. Lennox slow getting up, but is up and apparently okay. Keller with a handoff to Kelly. Kelly bringing it into the left corner. And there was an elbow thrown by Davis. That is actually going to be LeBlanc with the elbow. So a LeBlanc elbow has got the ball into the hands of the Coyotes. First double-digit lead of the game, a 30-20 Bear advantage. It is stolen away by Kelly. Back to Kelly, no good. Rebounded by Keller. Trying to rip it away from Murph. Maybe it's just from where I am seated. That did not look like pleasantries exchanged between Keller and Murph, as Keller will go to the line. First shot, no good. This is a Bear team shooting just a tad over 50% from the line. And a Coyote team that is shooting exactly 50% from the line coming in. Murph able to get it to Goodman. Fed to Nelson, lost it, got it back, and she is fouled. Shooting 2 is Nelson. And I don't think Nelson has had an opportunity in the line until now. Makes good on this chance. Well, I'm scanning the crowd to see if Mama Nelson is here. Stephanie usually is, but that's typically when games are played in Monroeville. Key with the rebound. Coyotes with a chance to trim more off that lead. Over to Murph, lost into the paint, got it back, Young with it. Puts it up from just outside the paint, too strong, Goodman with it, banks it. Coyotes turn it into a 31-24 contest. Down low to Kelly. And Key will commit the foul. Sophomore Kelly shooting. Getting her 4th start of the year tonight. A 50-50 free throw shooter, 3 of 6 on the season. Mackenzie DeVille back into the game for the Bears. Don't forget at halftime, JUCO Rush. Talking about junior college football. 2 more regular season weeks, and really not regular season because you've got championship games the last week. Championship from a conference standpoint. Championship for the NJCAA happens in December, as well as the semifinals. Hutchinson has won today, so I think they have likely secured a spot. Georgia Military already in. And that leaves 2 more spots to go. And I think everybody believes Iowa Western is going to win today, which puts the question mark on that 4th berth in the Final Four. Missed rebounded by Key. And the MACCC championship has Northwest Mississippi tangling with East Central. There is a timeout on the floor. It is asked for by the Bears. It is of the 30-second variety. We are back in 30. Inside 2 to go, half number 1, and the Bears by double digits. There's a gentleman who did a lot of work prior to the ball game. He typically is up in Monroeville running the scoreboard. That's an Electromech. Here they've got a Nevco. And I know you're like, dude, that's just too much info. Well, you know, every scoreboard different. Has their different nuances, but he went through a quick little learning session and is working things flawlessly at Jack Robertson. Rebounded and put back by Kelly. Off the fingertips of Nelson. Keller short. Put back no good. There is a whistle. There is a foul. That is Murph guilty of the foul. Nelson coming out of the game. Crusoe coming back in. Kelly 3 of 6 from the line coming into today. Goes 1 of 2. Tipped by Key into the hands of Gross, and Gross is fouled. That's going to be called on Key. So now it is Gross shooting. Gross, like Kelly, a 50-50 free throw shooter, but fewer free throws, 1 of 2 on the year. Smalls in the scorer's table, getting ready to come into the game for the Coyotes. Key able to track down the rebound off the miss. Hands it over to Murph. It is thrown away, the steal by Kelly. Out front it is Keller. That is DeVille with Murph defending. Back over to Kelly. Keller lost it briefly, got it back. Shot clock at 7. Off the rim, Key with the rebound. Over it goes to Murph. That is Young for 3. She's got it. A much-needed 3 from Young. Turns it into a 10-point game. DeVille out front. Trying to eat up all time on the clock and get buckets out of it, and they do. Gross dropping it in. And the Goodman effort at the buzzer comes up just a little bit short, and we are at halftime. And at the half, it is the Bears leading it by 20. I mentioned that JUCO Rush, all about junior college football. It's coming up at the half.
And welcome into the JUCO Rush. I'm Mike Fraser. He's Robert Williamson. This is where we talk JUCO football and a lot to talk about tonight as the NJCAA playoffs. They're on the horizon, Robert. We're getting close to money time in the NJCAA, big fella.
Hey, man, this is exciting. And, man, you got some of the best teams in the country still playing football this week, despite the fact that the regular season is over. You got the conference playoffs and more. Loving every minute of it.
Man, and you look at the way things are shaping up, it could be a clean-cut situation for the committee if certain teams win. We'll dive into that in a moment. Or it could be wild and crazy with a bunch of two-loss teams, and we'll talk about that as we dive into the JUCO Rush, brought to you by Pepsi. Allen Beverages down in Gulfport, Mississippi. They respect and they understand the importance of community college athletics and an education. Allen Beverages down in Gulfport, proud partners of the JUCO Rush. Let's take a look at the NJCAA top 15, and you see right there, no changes at the top. Iowa Western remaining number 1. There's Hutchinson, bouncing at the door at 3. Georgia Military, a solid performance, beat a good Lackawanna team, Robert. And you see those two-loss teams banging on the door on the NJCAA top 15, partner.
Man, and I'm going to stick with it. You know, I started, the first week of the year, and now here we are in the latter stages. And so far, that is the fact that we're going to have all one-loss teams and no two-loss teams. I'm sticking with that prediction, although this week could change that stuff around quite a bit.
Getting dicey. And let's take a look at the JUCO Rush top 6 teams as we dive into this here as we wind down the last couple of games here in the regular season. I'm going to go first. You look at mine there. I've got, of course, Iowa Western at number 1. I still like Hutchinson at number 2, Georgia Military there at number 3. And then you look down the list there, Northwest, just a quality win over a very good Mississippi Gulf Coast team. And then you see my 5 and my 6 slots as I have those two teams banging on the door. East Central in that number 6 seed. I've got Navarro up there as well, Robert.
Man, I toyed with putting Navarro in my top 6.
What held you back? What held you back?
Do what?
What held you back?
I don't know. I guess I'm waiting until we get a couple of games into the postseason. You got the semifinals this week taking on Cisco, and then the championship. I do think it is very possible in my top 6 that Navarro moves Snow out, but it's based on how they perform over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you see there with your teams up there, you still like Georgia Military in the 2 slot, don't you?
Definitely should be the number 2 team, Mike. I mean, we've talked about this previously, and we're going to rehash old news. But, and 2, I noticed where the NJCAA polls are concerned, they've actually got Hutch and Georgia Military both with the same total number of points, 135. To me, that almost looks like a poised to leapfrog the Bulldogs if Hutch wins this week, which I don't agree with. I think Georgia Military College is worthy of the number 2 spot. I like Hutch, obviously. They're a great team. But Georgia Military, quality wins on the road. Lackawanna, number 9 in the country. Tyler beat them in Texas. Snow beat them in Utah. Georgia Military deserves the 2 ranking.
Look, even though I have Georgia Military in the 3 slot, I think, Robert, just my experience at covering the NJCAA, I think Georgia Military is a lock with the committee at the number 2 seed. I wouldn't put much thought into those points. I just think the committee, I just don't think they're going to leapfrog Hutch if they beat Garden City here this weekend. So I think Georgia Military stays locked in that 2 slot, even though I would put them at the 3. But I like I said, I think they're locked and loaded. No need to fear, Robert. I think Georgia Military, according to in the committee's eyes, will remain on the 2 line.
Let me say this, though. Here's the interesting thing going into this weekend. Georgia Military is the only team that is guaranteed a top 4 finish. They've wrapped up their season at number 2, and Iowa Western, Hutch, and Northwest Mississippi have all still got games to go.
Yes, they do. And later on, we'll talk about those 2 lost teams. You're right. Does Iowa Western, with a loss this late in the year, if they lose at Highland, does that drop them out of the 4 slot? I find that hard to believe, but they would certainly be on the fence. And my goodness, what about Hutch? What if Hutch falls to Garden City? Look, Kiyoshi and Garden City, they're going to be ready. They're going to give Hutch their best shot. And with DeJuan Lacey there at running back, I don't think this is going to be a 38-0 game like it was with Iowa Western. So, man, that is something the committee wants to avoid. They just want to – look, it's nice and clean cut for the committee, right, Robert? If Northwest wins, they're 10-1. They're going to get a playoff spot. Iowa Western wins, it's obvious. They're going to host and get a playoff spot. If Hutchinson wins, I guess the only drama would be, do they leapfrog Georgia Military? But it would be a very easy committee meeting as they sit around the table and figure out who gets in. But if not, Robert, it's mayhem, my friend.
Oh, indeed it is, with a ton of 2-loss teams and even some 2-loss teams outside of our top 6. I mean, you've got Navarro, I don't. I've got Snow, you don't. But there's also Mississippi Gulf Coast. There's also Coffeyville, 2-loss teams. I don't think they've got a chance, though, by the way.
No, they don't.
I think those 2 are out.
Yeah, I think the only 2-loss team that's not on my board is Snow. And you see the NJCAA has Snow at number 5. Snow, I think, plays Sussex this weekend. They're going to win that game, be at 9-2. So Snow, it's a long shot. They're behind the 8 ball. Lots got to roll their way. Gulf Coast won't make it. Their season's over. You look at those 2-loss teams. Coffeyville won't make it. They lost head-to-head to Hutch. And I think they also collected a win due to the forfeiture of the Garden City. So Hutch or Coffeyville's not in the picture at all.
Want your team or business to truly stand out? Look no further than SportFX Designs. They specialize in high-impact sport graphics that demand attention. Whether it's custom animated logos, sleek animations, or full branding solutions, SportFX Designs delivers professional eye-catching visuals that elevate your brand. Head over to www.sportfxdesigns.com and see how they can bring your visions to life.
Right, another great kid, huh? Mason Shorb.
Yeah.
Getting it done on the field, first-class young man. And again, these are the stories. You see these guys down here at the JUCO level, man. These are good football players, and they're good kids too. So happy to see people who are good at their craft and are good people be successful. And I'm with you. He's going somewhere. We'll just have to wait and see here in December or maybe in February. So, yeah, man, those were two good guys, man. And again, I'm salty that I couldn't get in here to do these interviews. I mean, you did a great job with them, but man, those are two guys that really have been following them all year. Really wanted to talk to them, but heck, if Navarro gets the job done, maybe we have him back on. And look, Landon Vessel, another good-looking quarterback for Cisco. I mean, that's a game I'm looking forward to watching this weekend, man. I mean, what a job Cisco has done. That program has been resurrected, and they're playing good football. And Texas, again, they beat each other up, and here they are in their postseason. 4 quality teams going at it, Robert.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, the conference games this weekend, Texas and Mississippi, they're just terrific ball games. I mean, you're not getting a slouch in the Lone Star State nor in Mississippi this weekend.
Yeah, and that JUCO Weekly Trophy is just starting to come around the corner, December the 17th. We're about a month out from that right now. So let's take a look at the JUCO Weekly Trophy, Chase, and let's see what we have here. My guys, you see some of these same names. Hunter Decker's the guy that's up there. Waymon Jordan, Demarion Petit for me. Keenan Phillips, man, just grinding it and just bringing it every week. That's a guy that's made my list, and it's going to be hard for him to get off my list here as we go down the stretch. Darian White right there as well, getting it done, Robert.
Oh, yeah, and on my list, I've got 3 that I just feel like are definitely in, and that's Deckers, Petit, and Jordan. I mean, they have consistently, game in, game out. Petit, a little off last week, 18 carries, 45 yards. Mm-hmm. And in my book, if you have a couple of those games in a season, well, I mean, it's been a great year, but are you still in the hunt for the JUCO Weekly Trophy? We'll see. But I list my last 2 as up for grabs because there are so many different names that could drop in. Keenan Phillips, obviously, is one. I think we talked to one today, or maybe even 2 today, with Sincere Bowers and Mason Shorb. And then, of course, you got the 2 linebackers from Tyler, and on the list goes. So I got my solid 3 and my maybe 2.
Oh, Noah Fleming's another one, talented football player as well. Tavion Atkinson, good-looking defensive end. He's up there in the sack. So, yeah, no doubt that JUCO Weekly Trophy will be presented December 17th down in Texas, the night before the national championship game, and we are pumped and excited about that event. Before they can get to that game December 18th, they've got a playoff they've got to get to.
Agreed.
All right, let's go to our rush powered by Pepsi as we take a look here at our games here. I've got East Central at Northwest. Give me the Rangers of Northwest. Cisco and Navarro. I like Landon Vessel, but I also like Mason Shorb. I also like Navarro. I think they're playing really well. Give me Navarro.
I've got my games of the week, East Central and Northwest, just like you do, and I'm going with Northwest. I'm going with the other semifinals in the SWJCFC, and that is Navarro and Cisco, and I'm picking the Bulldogs.
And you're taking who?
The Bulldogs of Navarro.
Okay. All right, very good, very good. They're the games. A lot of great JUCO football this weekend. Check it out. If you get a chance to go to a game, definitely go. If not, check it out online. These are really good football players, good football games. Looking forward to watching them this weekend. That's a wrap on the JUCO Rush for Robert Williamson down in Florala, Alabama. I'm Mike Frazier here in downtown Chicago. We thank you so much for watching the JUCO Rush. We also thank Pepsi, our proud partner of the JUCO Rush. Until next week, so long, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Half number 2, Coyotes and Bears. And it's the first half of our doubleheader. Ladies first and the men will follow here on JockJive. Hey, by the way, the halftime show, 31 minutes in its entirety, edited to about a 13-minute halftime feature. So if you want to catch it all, you're like, man, I got to have more of that show. Then you can go to our YouTube channel and find it there. Same 5 that started the game on the floor for the Coyotes, but briefly as Key picks up the foul and will come out of the game. So to start, it was Key, Small, Murph, Goodman, and Young. But now you have got Sanders, Goodman, Smalls, Murph, and Young. And for the Bears, Keller, Kelly, Carnes, Moore, and LeBlanc. So that is the same 5 that started the game, starting half number 2. And we got a foul on this end of the floor. That'll be charged to Carnes. Goodman will head to the stripe. And while you're looking for the JUCO Rush to watch on our YouTube channel, might as well go ahead and subscribe. And while you're online, you might as well follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and maybe soon Blue Sky. I guess that's the new hot social media. Like about 1 million new subscribers a day. I mean, I'm just looking for 1 million YouTube subscribers, this year. Okay, maybe in the next 5 years. We're getting 1 million a day. Goodman the steal and the drop in. (41-31) game. I think on our YouTube channel, another steal as it is stolen away by Smalls. Murph gives it over to Goodman. Goodman putting up the 2, dipped it in and out. Carnes with the rebound. But I mean, on our YouTube games, you can comment. Blue Sky, you can comment. I mean, they're similar, right? Okay, they're pretty different. They can get their millions daily. I'll be content with, far less daily. Kelly able to get it back with a tip over to Keller. And that is LeBlanc in the paint with a miss. Ball left behind. LeBlanc says, I'll take that. And the lead goes to 12. Men's basketball coming up. This link will close and a new link will open for the men's game. Sanders with a miss, able to get it back. Goodman trying to get it to Smalls. Taken away by Kelly. In the paint. Shot no good for Moore, but she did draw the foul. Tyler Murph picking up the foul. And that has got more shooting. And apparently our new Bear coming in, James, will come in for the shooter. She was summoned, but she said, nah, I'll wait. So she will replace Moore. And there goes Moore, and in comes James. A little better than an hour into the ball game from a real-time perspective. Another steal. LeBlanc again off the glass and rim. No good. Rebounded by James. And she is fouled trying to put it back. Crusoe coming into the game for the Coyotes. Got a news conference coming up on Tuesday we will cover. I think actually the cat is out of the bag. So I can go ahead and mention what the conference is about. ACCC introducing flag football. And I think it starts in the spring. I may be wrong on that. But I don't think they're waiting till next year. It will begin in the spring. But we'll be there for the news conference on Tuesday at 11. That is Lennox putting up the 3-ball off the rim. Battle for the loose ball, still battling, and finally a whistle. And a timeout. It's a 30-second break, and it is charged to the Bears, which I would assume means they'll have possession as well.
When you're starting something new, it's never easy. You're going to make mistakes. You'll doubt yourself. But you're in a place that wants you to succeed, thrive. And soon, it will just start to feel right. Suddenly, you'll get it. Your fear will turn to confidence. First-time tasks become second nature. And what seemed impossible is right in front of your eyes. Because once the light bulb goes on, there's no turning back. You may wonder how you got here, and be glad you did. That's Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Nearing the 7-minute mark in the third. A 46-31 Bears lead. Bears able to maintain possession coming out of the timeout. Into the corner to LeBlanc. Rims the 3 in and out, and rebounded by Goodman. Over to Young. Out front it goes to Lennox. Crusoe with it. Looking down low to Sanders. Instead, that is Crusoe for 2. Dropped in the long 2 at 6:33 to go, quarter number 3. Over to LeBlanc. Into the paint. And an easy 2 for James. Bears trying to go to 3-1 on the young year. Coyotes looking for their second win. Trying to make it 2 in a row over a Louisiana team. Beating Delgado. Last outings, 65-63. In play to Goodman. And you got a jump ball. Possession arrow keeping it on this end of the floor. Lennox to put it in play from the baseline. Get a discussion over at the scorer's table. And I think we are, well, I thought we were going to put it on the foul on the board. Didn't. Crusoe with it, bring it at baseline. And she'll travel. .38-33 game. 5:53 to play in the third. I did check out some scores at the half. Alabama leading Mercer. That's off the window by Kelly. And there's more scores to report. I was just trying to think what they were without looking. See, I told you there is so limited space up there for new information. And the Alabama game was the only one I can recall at the moment. But there's a remedy. I'll just pull up the old ESPN app. Young left open for the three ball, and she drops it in. .14 game inside 5 to go in the third. Alabama 38-7 over Mercer as we look at top 25 college football. Penn State number 4, a 14-zip lead over Purdue. That's at the end of 1. The Alabama game is near the end of 3. 8th-ranked Notre Dame, a 7-zip lead over Virginia. Headed into the second stanza. SMU, ranked number 14 in the country. 10-zip lead over Boston College with 42 seconds to play in the first. We'll get more scores when we come back. Timeout on the floor with 4:46 left to go.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone. Because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed. Thrive. We don't care where you've been, only where you're going and how we can help you get there. Here, instead of getting lost in the crowd, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, coyotes. You'll experience new possibilities and emerge stronger, more knowledgeable, together. That's the Pack. That's Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Stewart shooting free throws, 4:46 to play in the third. More college football scores. Number 19, Louisville, down by 3 to Stanford. 10-7, 57 seconds left in the first. And Florida leading number 22, LSU. 7-zip with 2:59 to go in the first. Your top 25 finals. Number 2, Ohio State beats Northwestern 31-7. Number 3, Texas, a 2010 win over Arkansas. 17th ranked Colorado beating Utah 49-24. Number 20, Clemson over Pitt, 24-20. And number 25, Tulane, 35-zip over Navy. LeBlanc throws it away, Smalls with the steal. No top 25 college women's basketball until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Got a couple of games on tap. Top 25 men's action. Number 6, Duke knocks off Wofford, 86-35. Number 16, Indiana, with a 53-39 lead over South Carolina, 3:14 to play. Number 25, Ole Miss, 23-10 over Colorado State with 10:59 to go in the first half. Stolen away by Lathers. Over to LeBlanc. That is James with it in the corner. Back over to Stewart, backs it out, goes into the paint, throws it away. Crusoe with the steal. Fed over to Young, and Young the lay-in. NJCAA football, Snow with a 41-14 lead over Sussex with the fourth quarter to go. Hutch has beat Garden City 42-17. And no score. Iowa Central and Butler just underway in half number 2. So you are all updated on elsewhere. Here a 53-38 ball game. 2:51 to play in the third. And a men's game to go, which probably starts maybe a little later than that 4 o'clock scheduled start time. We've still got almost 3 minutes in the third and all of the fourth to go. One more for Stewart. Trying to get a 3-point play from the line. And she will, perfect. Carnes coming into the game, out will go Stewart. And the lead has grown to 18. Loose ball on the floor, Smalls trying to retrieve. It's a jump ball. And the possession arrow keeps it on the Coyote end of things. And now the official says, well, the possession arrow points to the other end of the floor. But apparently Bears basketball. Kiera Gross back into the game. Hands it to Lathers, and then the give goes to Keller. Back over to DeVille, and eventually into the hands of Keller, top side, who will stumble and get rid of it to DeVille. Puts up the 3 short. Able to get it back and put it in his Carnes. Smalls for 2. DeVille bringing it down low, boy. She's been just about everywhere on the Bear half of the floor. Smalls with the rebound, kicks it over to Young. Outside of the arc. Off on the 3 try from Lennox. And that will go out of bounds. Let's see who it got last. And it is going to be Bears basketball. Here comes Moore back into the game. Out will go Keller. Gross to put it in play, does so to Moore. Lathers picking up the dribble. Smalls defending. Hands it over to DeVille. Top side to Moore. Into the paint. Spin move Carnes. Getting around Crusoe. Missed the shot. Crusoe with the rebound. Pull-up jumper from Lennox. She will draw the foul. Lennox at the stripe. A 50% free throw shooter. 4 points a game for Lennox. One start, but has been in every contest. Rebound belongs to Carnes. Topside with it is Moore. Tall with a toss, but Carnes is tall, able to bring it in. Puts on the jumper from just inside the paint. Put back from Lathers. Not there, and the rebound wrapped up by Goodman. And then Lathers will get a hand on Goodman. Non-shooting foul. And the Coyotes will put it in play from the baseline on the opposite end of the floor. In play to Lennox. And the foul charge to Moore. In play to Crusoe. Back over to Crusoe. Comes it down low to Smalls. Nice pass and nice move to the hoop by Smalls. Shot up, no good, rebounded by Lennox, and we have taken care of 3 stanzas of basketball from the Jack Robertson Arena on the campus of Coastal South, but today the home for Coastal North basketball.
When you're starting something new, it's never easy. You're going to make mistakes. You'll doubt yourself. But you're in a place that wants you to succeed, thrive. And soon, it will just start to feel right. Suddenly, you'll get it. Your fear will turn to confidence. First-time tasks become second nature. And what seemed impossible is right in front of your eyes. Because once the light bulb goes on, there's no turning back. You may wonder how you got here, and be glad you did. That's Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Man, when the music's playing, you gotta get with it. Jack Robertson Arena. Coastal Alabama North basketball on JockJive at the home of Coastal South. I don't know how long they will be here. I think at least the hope is that repair needed at the Coastal North gym that got North here at South is a quick fix. And that Thursday's game against Delgado will happen where and when planned. Coyotes opening up the fourth quarter scoring. Crusoe able to tip it onto the floor in the hands of Goodman. Smalls gets fouled and goes to the line. Now this game ain't over. Got a 3-point ball game with 9 minutes. I make that a 13-point ball game with 9 minutes, 19 seconds left to play. Smalls at the stripe. Knocks down both. Fed over to Kelly. And there is a one-hander from LeBlanc. Young off the mark. It is rebounded by Carnes. Out ahead of the pack. Off the rim, no good from Keller. Tipped out of bounds and last touch to Bear. So the Coyotes with the basketball in a 14-point game. Over to Crusoe. Down low to Goodman. Goodman turns around, runs into the defense of Kelly, and then Kelly defense a little too tight. Committing the foul that will have Goodman shooting. This ball game far from over, 14-point lead. 8 minutes, 18 seconds left to play. I bring it up often. And that was a Colin Jones game, ladies basketball. Jones with a 12-point lead with 1:26 to play. And Colin tied it up, won it in overtime. There's a heck of a lot more than 1:26 to go in this one. In a 13-point game. In and out, rebounded by Crusoe. Got a jump ball, and the possession arrow will keep it on the Bear end of the floor. But in the world of college basketball, a 13-point game with 8:06 to go is a close game, potentially. Jumper from LeBlanc, short. Smalls with the rebound, gives it over to Lennox. Lennox weaving through traffic. Lost the dribble near the paint, trying to get it back, got a jump ball. And the possession arrow has us staying on this end. Hey, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, do. I mean, it's not a demand, it's a request. But we would love to have you as a subscriber. And then you get access not only to games, but interviews, shows, and more. Coyotes put it in play from the baseline. Give it to Crusoe. Crusoe is earning extra playing time. Has played in every game, hasn't started in one. Averaging about 2 points a game, but she's had some quality minutes this afternoon. Keller to Moore. Over to Carnes. The lead in, no good. Trying to get the putback was Kelly, and she's fouled. Smalls and Young were there. Let's see which one committed the foul. It is going to be Smalls. Janira Kelly, 50-50 free throw shooter, 23 points and 3 outings. A little better than 7 per. She'll get the first. Well, if the law of averages is in effect, she'll miss the second. But the laws of averages don't always apply. As is the case now. Typically a 1 for 2 shooter goes 2 for 2. I guess that means we're doing 0 for 2 at some point. Young back over to Lennox. Lennox double team, trying to get out of the double team. Gets it to Crusoe, over to Key. Back to Crusoe to Lennox. Lost to the paint. Picked up by Young. She's knocked down. And Young trying to trim into this 15-point Bear advantage. Young, a 55% free throw shooter, 8 points a game. Number 4 in the ACCC in three-point percentages. And will shoot twice. Bears and Coyotes men's basketball to follow. First shot missed by Young. And as I mentioned, we close out the link. Got a men's link that will open just as the game gets underway. Couple of misses for Young. That is Kelly for 2. Young with it in the corner and then took an extra step. That pivot foot moved. Couldn't decide whether to pass to Key or look to somebody else to give to. And the pivot foot moved and drew the wall. Down low, the give to LeBlanc. And Young charged with a foul and got close to a technical. The official, I think, gave a look, thought about it and said, what the heck. Young will go to the sidelines. And has decided, at least at the moment, to isolate herself. I think she wants to be within her own thoughts. LeBlanc hits 2. And a big part of the second half success for the Bears has been a much improved free throw shooting. Out front to Lennox. Able to get it to Crusoe. And she walked with it. Checking into the ball game for the Bears is Gabriel Hall. Also coming in, Kinsley James. Crusoe leaving for the Coyotes. And Murph will come back into the game. There's a lean in for 2 from James. Goodman gives to Murph. Back out front to Goodman for 3. Just a little bit short. James will grab it. LeBlanc with a miss. Lennox has it, going the other way. Leans into the paint, gets the 2. And there is a player down, and that is Goodman. Not getting up. The Coastal North trainer giving a look at Goodman. Coach Mandy Armstrong coming over as well to look at the starting guard. She'll hobble off the floor and go to the trainer's table, which I guess here is a trainer's chair, and will be tended to. Five minutes, 6 seconds left to play in the game. A 19-point lead. Coyotes have been able to trim it down to 12 with about 8 minutes to go in the game. But now inside 5, and it has grown to 19. Murph, no good. Key with it. Tried to get the put back, couldn't, but did get fouled. Key going to the stripe. I think she'll be there after the media timeout. Yep. We're taking a break. 4:43 left to play.
There once was a young coyote.
You're fired.
He found himself ill-suited for the jobs of the world. He struggled to compete in the corporate environment.
This isn't working out.
And failed at the simplest of tasks.
I think I'm gonna have to let you go.
No matter how hard he tried, his coyote hands were just not meant for regular jobs.
That guy is fired.
Until one day, when he was hired for the perfect job. To become a mascot. And then he found the place where he could thrive. Find the place where you thrive at Coastal Alabama Community College.
.443 to play. Key at the stripe. Banks in her first. Shooting 2, a 34% free throw shooter. 7 points a game for Key. Goes 1 of 2. Moore able to snag the rebound. Given to Hall. Hall squares up, looks down low. LeBlanc out of the corner. Short of the 2 try. Key had it. Hall reached in to take it away. The possession arrow sends us where? Keeps us on this end of the floor. An 18-point lead with 4:21 to go. That's a little more anxiety creating in the Coyotes than that 12-point lead with 8 to play. Air ball on the LeBlanc 3. Picked up by Rihanna Jean, who has checked into the game. Lennox over to Murph. Murph with a miss. And Key apparently coming down on the back of Hall. Key will pick up the foul. And Key will come out of the game. Smalls will come in. Well, everybody that's wearing a jersey tonight for the Coyotes has been in. And I'm looking over to the Bears sideline. If there's a Bear that hasn't been in, there's not many. Sit out front to LeBlanc. Nice feed off the glass, no good. Stewart with an opportunity, just couldn't get it to drop. Crusoe coming out of the corner. Got a jump ball, and we'll stay on this end of the floor. 3:14 to go. And looking like Coyotes will drop to 1-5 on the year. Well, the Bears will get their first win over a non-Mississippi team. Crusoe with a walk. And I think Crusoe thought she had gone backcourt. Put in play by Stewart. Gets it to Davis. That is Moore with it. Air ball on the 3 try from James. And it'll be Coyote basketball. Drive to the glass, Murph with a miss. Stewart rebounds, goes over to Moore. And the Bears will take their time on this end of the floor, trying to run some of that shot clock down. Davis picking up the dribble. There's a James 3, and this one is good. .1 lead, 2:14 to go. That's too much to overcome. Off Crusoe and out of bounds. Young into the game. Murph goes out. Stolen away by Smalls. Ran the pass perfectly. Misfires on the lay-in. It'll go out of bounds. Off of Hall. So the Coyotes able to keep it, but didn't get the easy 2. Less than 2 to play. In play to Crusoe. Young with it. Gives down to Smalls, turns around, off the rim. Rebounded by Jackson. Davis with the give to Hall. Hall with the fake, the layup, but not the lay-in, but did draw the foul. Foul called on Brianna Jean. Hall will shoot 2. Well, we do have a new face on the floor. I don't have a number. I have a number, don't have a name. So it's possible this is so new that she hasn't been listed in the stats. Over to Young, picks up the low toss from Lennox. Lennox shooting 3, too strong. Crusoe had it, lost it. Ball on the floor, Crusoe gets it back, jump ball, and the possession arrow has us going to Baton Rouge. .66 seconds remain. And you got to travel. Jackson took an extra step. 72-50 ball game. Hand it over to Gene. Gene looking for first points of the game. Young trying the three off the rim. Tipped into the corner by Smalls. And it will be Baton Rouge ball. In play to Jackson. There is a little differential between game and shot clock. Haul off the glass, got two. Able to get around the Gene defense. Time running out. Crusoe hands to Young. Young drives, shot swatted away, and that will be your ball game. Well, there was a foul call, and apparently it happened as the clock went to but didn't quite hit goose eggs. So Young on the line with an opportunity to change the outcome of the game by 2. And 3 seconds were put back onto the clock. And now they've changed it to 0.3 seconds remaining. Young trying to narrow the margin of victory by 1. It's put in play, and that'll be your ball game. This one final. Coyotes fall to 1-5 on the year, while the Bears will improve to 3-1, a 74-51 final. First of 2 done. The ladies have wrapped it up. The guys will take to the hardwood next. 74-51, Baton Rouge wins it. Thanks so much for watching game number 1. Second of our double header, not 2 double headers. That would be a quadruple header. Don't have one of those today. But we got the second game of the doubleheader coming up. It is the men of Baton Rouge and the men of Coastal Alabama North. That's on a separate link. So we'll close this one out, get that one started in roughly 20 minutes. For all the folks with Coastal Alabama and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. Thanks for watching Basketball on JJ.